Hey guys, welcome back to Kryptonite YouTube channel. I am back, guys. I know it's been a long time since I have made a video. I'm going to try to do these more often. I do day trade during the day. I'm going to try to spend my last half hour or so making a quick update video for you. So guys, Bitcoin, there has been some big news lately, and obviously you can see on the chart there's been a big pump. Now, real quick, let me just give you the news here because I'm trying to wrap my mind around this myself. So here's from Twitter. So apparently the iShares Bitcoin BlackRock ETF was listed initially on this website, and that's one of the big reasons why we had this big move, because BlackRock is a huge asset manager, trillions of dollars they manage. And so the price shot up with the thought that this ETF is going to be approved very soon. Now we're looking at it, and apparently that has been removed from their website, which is kind of crazy. So, and this was just, I believe, 13 minutes ago that this was posted. So I'm honestly not sure what's going on. I do expect that ETFs, spot Bitcoin ETFs, will eventually be approved. I'm happy if they're not approved right now. I'd much rather have them be approved later, because then it gives me more time to accumulate more Bitcoin. It was funny, yesterday I was actually, seeing this huge pump, and of course, I've been dollar cost averaging since around 35,000 all the way down to the lows at 16. So you'd think I'd be happy. Oh, look, all my bags are pumping, right? But I was actually sad because I was thinking, oh man, the bear market's over potentially, and I have a decent amount of Bitcoin, but I wanted a lot more, and I was purposely working a lot, like 60 hours a week, so I could have more money to accumulate more Bitcoin. And although I accumulated a decent amount, it's nowhere near what my goal was. And so I actually found myself kind of sad yesterday knowing that the time might have run out on getting Bitcoin at these levels. And so I'm trying to work through that. And obviously this is crazy, because if this was a trap, I don't think this was a trap, but maybe it was. It's very possible. I mean, look how many shorts got liquidated. I mean, this is crazy. And so the reason why I think it could very well be a trap has to do with the volume. Okay, so if we're looking at Bitcoin, we're on the monthly chart here. Now, what do we notice? Oh, come on, mouse, don't do this to me. So we had our low here at 16,000. I forget the exact low, 15,400, around there. And as you can see, we've had this uptrend that started, but our volume has slowly declined on each monthly candle. This is not good. This means that there is a lack of interest in the price, right? If price is going up but volume is going down, that's an anomaly. That's problematic. That usually means that market makers are marking up the price, but there's no real buying interest. So this monthly candle still has about 7 days left on it, and it looks like a nice spread candle. So I guess we will see in about a week how much volume eventually this candle finishes with, because that will definitely determine what's going to happen. I'm leaning towards the idea that we're going to have a bigger correction. And maybe I'm just hopeful because I would like to get cheaper Bitcoin. But with the volume, this volume divergence here on the monthly, not a great sign. We're still about 6 months from the halving. And if we look at our retracement levels, we are approaching here the 618 retracement level. So a very real possibility, maybe we push up to that level around 36,000 based off this momentum, and then we get rejected down. And I think the bottom is 20,000. I don't ever see Bitcoin ever going below 20,000 ever again in the history of time. Or maybe just a long time until someone invents something better, which which is always possible. So I'm being very cautious here. I'm waiting to see how this candle finishes. Again, it's got a decent amount of volume on it, more than the last 3, but you know, we need to see more volume if we're thinking the bear market is officially over. Because if you look at it, we've got the same size candle. Here's another, you know, anomaly here in the volume. So we've got this spread candle here with this much volume. Right now we're looking at about the same size candle, maybe even a little bigger, but look at how much volume is currently on it, right? Half. Now again, it still has 7 days left, so we'll see how this finishes. If this finishes really strong and sort of breaks this volume downtrend, if you will, that is a great sign that the bear market could be over and we could continuously see this trend could hold and we could continue to see higher prices. I think if that is the case, and if we are now in a bull market, I do see price coming back and retesting 30,000 at some point. So I'm personally kind of holding out hope that one of two things will happen. A, if we do get a bigger move up, we will see a correction down to this trend line, and we will want to retest previous resistance at 30K, in which case I will be buying. Best case scenario is it actually breaks the trend line due to the fact that the volume is too low, and this is just a retracement in this bigger move down here, and then we get a bigger correction down to 20,000, which I think it would not go below that level, creating a double bottom, in which case, let's say like come up here. So then hopefully we'd come down to around 20,000, which would be a 236 retracement, which would be, you know, that and the golden pocket are great, you know, great retracement levels. Maybe even come all the way down to the very bottom and double bottom, right? I don't see that happening. Usually here's a great example of the last bear market, right? We had our big, you know, big correction, and then we had a big retracement, which actually, where did that level retrace at? That retraced, actually came all the way up to the golden pocket before getting a move down. And we have our low here, and this came and actually made almost a full double bottom. So actually this did almost make a full double bottom within a few $100s of a double bottom. So obviously, you know, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So I definitely right now, based on what I'm seeing with the volume, based on this kind of scammy stuff going on with these ETFs that are suddenly maybe not approved now, it's very scammy to me. So I do see a correction at some point here, making some, you know, at least coming down back down to 30,000 to retest, or making a bigger correction down, creating sort of a double bottom type pattern. Maybe I'm just hoping for that because I really want cheap Bitcoin and I don't want to be paying these prices for Bitcoin. So I could be wrong on that. So that is just the grand perspective there. Again, we'll see how well this volume candle does. We drop down time frames here on the daily. Let's get rid of this Fibonacci. If any of you guys out there can leave in the comments, I struggle with every time I switch time frames, my volume gets like smaller and bigger, and I have to manually adjust it every time. If someone out there has a trick or a hack to keep every time you switch time frames to where it actually switches your indicators to where I don't have to keep doing that, I would please tell me because it's super annoying. So on the daily time frame, sorry, TA is a little messy here. As you can see, we were ranging here in this volume profile, and we do have this kind of bigger move up that was happening. Looked like a rising wedge that we broke down out of, but then it immediately kind of just faked out down and then shot right back up. But right now we are getting some resistance at the top of this rising wedge. So maybe this is a double fake out rising wedge. It happens sometimes where you get a fake out to one side and then a fake out to the other side and then the real move. So I'm hoping, which you're not really supposed to do in trading, but you know, I'll trade whatever happens, of course, but Obviously, it'd be pretty cool if it did fake out to the upside and then come back down and then actually complete the actual rising wedge, which would technically take us all the way down to the very bottom to make a double bottom. Now, the reason this is probably unlikely is because the halving is in 6 months, and we have multiple Bitcoin ETFs that are likely to be approved at some point not too far away. So I wouldn't count on a massive, correction all the way down here. I'm hoping for just 20,000. Maybe even we hit this VWAP here down at 25, which 25 has shown to be a pretty strong support level here. The trend held here. We got a nice long-term VWAP from the very bottom. So even 25, anywhere from 25 to 30 at this point, I'm probably going to be looking to buy because I don't see it going much lower. Obviously, we're in pretty oversold territory here on the RSI, which isn't always a great indicator in trending markets. We did have a divergence back when. So we'll see if we print any divergences here after this big move up. I will be watching the RSI to see. Here, of course, we had our divergence started to happen, a couple of them in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Had a correction. Had one more push up, another bigger divergence, and then we got a bigger correction. So, based on what we've seen with past price action, I wouldn't be surprised to see something similar. Maybe we, make another little high, start creating those bearish divergences, and then make that one big bearish divergence that closes back in within our RSI, within our momentum, and then we get a bigger correction down, maybe even back down to this trend line. So that is kind of some of the scenarios I'm looking at. Right now, I am in a Bitcoin short position, but it is a very short-term short. We're talking like the 15-minute chart type short. So I can pull it up here, we'll see. This one may fail. So this is the short position I'm in right now. So we'll see. We had this big, nice, thick candle move down. Even got a nice, strong sell signal from our Lux Algo program. And then we got our move up, but our move up was happening on low volume, this correction. And money flows coming out as well. So I kind of thought this might be a decent opportunity to try to hit a short position here. Try to get down to our fair value gap here, which was created. A lot of times price likes to come down to these fair value gaps to kind of pick up those leftover orders. So we'll see. This one might work, might not. Obviously, with the volume profiles, ideally you want to be sort of buying in this area because you expect it to, come back up through the volume profile to the top. So like I said, this one could fail. A couple nice volume candles here. Yeah, this one might not work out, but that's okay. I feel like it was a good risk to reward ratio on this one, but anyway, a couple other things of note. I am in some short positions on some other things like Apple. I'm in a short position that I've been holding for quite some time. So I'm just kind of waiting to see when I want to take some profit on this one, which could be soon depending on what kind of price action we see here. But we do have money flow curve into the downside, which is good. So I'm hoping that this is a larger move down. But we'll see. I might have to take some profits on it soon. I'm also in a couple short positions on gold and silver, which are risky because they are more trend reversals. But I did like the money flow I'm seeing on the gold chart, and I did see some scammy volume here, guys. This is really weird. So typically, and this is why I'm kind of short right now, a lot of people were buying because of what's going on in Israel. So like there's a lot of fear in the market, and so people were buying a lot of gold, and there still is some fear, but some of it subsided a little bit. And you had this whole move up, but it was, so little volume. You have this massive candle with just nothing. And I'm thinking, how is this, like, where's the volume to support this price action? It just didn't make any sense. And of course, now we got the volumes coming in, but now we got it at the top. So this is an interesting one because technically we broke out of this falling wedge here, and the price target for that one would be at the top of the wedge. So from a price action standpoint, you can make the case you'd be a buyer here. But I just thought the price action was so scammy with this massive, candles with no volume, and then all of a sudden you're getting a bunch of volume here at the very top, which is also a 382 retracement of this entire move right here, 382. So I'm currently leaning towards the idea that this is sort of a volume climax, showing actually that market makers were kind of scamming this price up for people to buy because they knew people were thinking the war and all this stuff's going to escalate, and so I need to be buying gold, and so they got a bunch of people to buy, and now market makers have stepped in and they're going to be selling. At least that's what I'm betting on. So we'll see if it works out. Don't like that candle right there. That's not fun. I could but again, nice curvature on the money flow coming out on the 4 hour there. Again, don't like that. Well, actually, okay, good. Never mind. I thought this hammer had the volume, but it doesn't. This down, but you'd think with that much volume, this candle should be way bigger. But then again, recent price action has shown that. See, this is why another reason I got in. You see a lot of these high volume but small spread candles here at the top. That's usually a sign of market makers kind of stepping in, because you should see much bigger candles on that kind of volume, but they're not. They're super small, showing that there's like a battle. There's a big battle going on between buyers and sellers at the top right now. And so I'm betting on the idea that the market makers have stepped in, and they tricked a bunch of people into buying gold and longing gold with no volume whatsoever, and now they're going to dump it on everybody. So that's what I'm thinking is happening. That's what I got a trade on, so we'll see if that happens. And I'm also short silver as well, kind of similar thing. Money flow curving out. We'll see though. This one isn't looking as promising. But anyway, guys, that's just a couple shorts I'm in. I'm also I was eyeing a short on oil here, because we do have this nice huge spread, high volume candle, and then of course in the after hours we're getting like a little retracement move up. But I'm actually looking to short oil here soon, based on that price action with that volume breaking this trend line. Kind of, you could say this is potentially a bear flag. It's kind of too big, I think, to be a legit one, but regardless, this trend has been broken here, and so yeah, we'll see. I've been keeping my eye on that one. And I'm in my Bitcoin short, so I'm in a few different positions here. We'll see. I had a couple nice trades in a row, so maybe I'm on a downswing. I don't know. Oh, I don't want to show you guys that. That's my mouse is going crazy when I'm using the software. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, I lost a copper short, but won a nice little short on Tesla. Unfortunately, lost a gold short. So working out some kinks here with some different risk management type features. I was able to make my own little risk management bot here, which I can kind of use to help figure out how much of a certain assets I need to buy. So that's been super helpful, because sometimes I haven't known exactly how much to buy, and that's bit me in the butt. But yeah, guys. So I don't know what else to say on this one. I got to get back in the flow of these videos. I haven't made these in a while, but that's what I'm looking at Bitcoin. I think this is kind of scammy. I'm looking for some bearish divergences. I'm looking for some action showing that we're going to come back at least down to this trend line, maybe even a bigger correction. Again, we'll see if that volume on the monthly time frame decides to do something. Yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. Future videos will be better. I got to get back in the flow here. Kryptonite. Guys, make sure to save your money, grow your money. Kryptonite out.